Welcome back to Capitol Review. I'm Mark Hall. President Trump and the administration remain focused on foreign and domestic policies. Immigration enforcement remains a big issue in the region and nationwide. And the Trump tariffs, along with efforts to bring peace abroad, remain in the headlines. Joining us now is Ashwani Jain, a Democratic political strategist and author of Project 2027, a blueprint for Democrats to regain control of Washington, and Republican political strategist Colin Reed, who's a principal at Washington, D.C.-based Southern Hill. Gentlemen, welcome back to Capitol Review.
Thanks, Mark.
Let's get right to it. Colin, we're going to start with you. Some say that President Trump's efforts overseas is getting away in his America First agenda. Your thoughts?
Well, foreign policy is what happens when you're busy making other plans. And to prove of that, look back to the 2000 election between George W. Bush and Al Gore. The term al-Qaeda didn't come up once during that entire campaign. And then 11 months later, we had the worst terror attack in history. So you have to be ready for foreign policy. And if you're not, if the world shapes events and we don't have a strong response, you see what happens under President Biden. Russia invaded Ukraine, war broke out in the Middle East, and it was a catastrophe. So President Trump knows strength at home, strength abroad, they're very related.
Ashwani, your response.
Well, foreign policy and domestic policy are deeply connected. When President Trump treats Putin with more respect than Zelensky, that emboldens our enemies and limits our ability to build coalitions to deter conflict. When he threatens European allies with tariffs or floats the idea of purchasing sovereign territory like Greenland, that puts American exports and farmers at risk by destabilizing trade. And when he praises peaceful protesters in Iran, but then calls peaceful protesters here at home thugs, it weakens our moral authority on the global stage. And none of that is America first. It's actually America last.
Ashwani, let's stay with you. ICE funding causing a partial government shutdown. Are Democrats on the right side of this?
Yes. I mean, look, we were told that ICE only targets violent criminals, but that's just not true. And when these tactics result in the deaths of unarmed U.S. citizens or trampling on our due process, we need a new approach. But instead of demanding accountability for these constitutional violations, Republicans in Congress are doubling down on this unchecked ICE funding. That's not leadership. All Democrats are asking for is accountability, transparency, and enforcement that protects communities and the Constitution. ICE is not doing any of that.
Colin?
Well, this is the shutdown about nothing, Mark. It's the Seinfeld shutdown. ICE is funded through 2029. So shutting down the government or parts of the government to achieve some policy objective, not only is it a bad idea, as history shows us, but it's ineffective because ICE is already funded. So I'm not sure what the end goal here or what purpose is, but I do know that if you continue to keep DHS defunded, there's parts of other really important things like FEMA, God forbid another disaster happen, that are being withheld precious resources. So this could really, right now, it feels like nothing, but this could really blow up badly in everyone's face if something unfortunate happens and the Department of Homeland Security doesn't have the funding it needs.
Colin, quickly, the Epstein files remains in the headlines. How can President Trump move forward?
Well, the reason it's in the headlines is because this Congress and this administration signed a bill that put all these documents into light. So this is not something that is left or right. It's the rich and powerful and the elite on one hand, and then it's everybody else on the other hand. And you're seeing justice coming for everybody. But this is not like this Republican or this Democrat idea that this was just going to be a Republican versus Democrat thing. You've got one of the royals going to jail for 11 hours yesterday. So there's a day of accounting coming. That's a good thing. And there's going to be a lot of people who are going to have a lot of questions to answer. But that's not something that just breaks down along pure party lines.
Ashwani, quickly, your response?
Well, around the world, leaders are resigning for far less. And yet here at home, the one man whose name appears repeatedly in these files and who's also had over 25 women accuse him of sexual assault, Donald Trump, has been treated by MAGA as untouchable. And let's be honest, trans people are not in these files, Biden is not, undocumented folks are not, Trump is. A man who called Epstein a terrific guy, promised transparency, but now attacks reporters for asking questions. That is not the behavior of someone with nothing to hide. Whoever is in the files, Democrat or Republican, needs to be held accountable.